What's going on, people? So we got the 587 motor all back together. See, I got the oil pump on it. I did test it. It's got oil pumping through the veins. We got the stator, flywheel, cover. I already got the wire ran through to go to the control unit. We got the exhaust manifold on. The starter back there is on. So now we are working on the carburetor. Now this is the original carburetor off of that engine for the GTS. I took it apart. Not too bad. Looks pretty clean. Got a little dirt right there. Kind of cleaned the hose out. Had some dirt in there, dirt daubers. This is the diaphragm part. So it looks pretty good. This little filter was kind of stopped up, which it goes right in here. If you're not familiar with the Sea-doo carbs, this right here is actually the SP carburetor. Came off the SP. He said he took it apart and cleaned it. I don't know if that's true or not. You can see some green stuff there. And they were running some regular 2-cycle oil, that blue stuff, and I believe that's what sees that other engine up. You gotta run that Sea-doo oil. So I'm going to put this carburetor back together and kind of clean it up a little bit. I mean, everything looks pretty good. Neither one seat working. So yeah, we're gonna get it back together. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it on the intake, bolt it down, because it'll be hard to do with the ski, with the motor in the ski, and with these two bolts. That way we can just drop it straight in. We're gonna hook our little oil cable up and hook our hoses up for our oil bottle. And then I got the tank out, cleaned it. It wasn't bad. It was pretty clean. I did pick up another fuel cylinder. Clean, so we'll be dropping that in the tank. And I cleaned out the oil bottle, which it had some, I don't know what it had in it. It looked like some regular motor oil, still some in there. We're gonna get that, the rest of that out of there. They had some, looked like regular 30 weight oil or something. I don't know what they were running in this stuff, but anyway, we're going to get the motor back in it and hopefully get this thing fired up by the weekend. Then I got to do the jet pump, but you can run it without the pump as long as you got some water hooked to it. So I'm going to get back to work and show you the outcome. Oh yeah, it's that time. It's that time to drop the engine in the GTS. So I got it hanging on the lift here. And we're going to winch it over in there, drop her down, and bolt her up. So today is the day we're going to install. It's 100 and something degrees outside, so I'm inside in my pretty cool little area, I guess. So I'll get back with you after I get it over in there. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get this thing in there with the engine cradle attached, because it's too wide. So what I'm going to have to do is, I guess, let it down and let it tilt. I didn't pull it out, so I don't know how it goes in there. Guess I can set it there. Don't want to hurt myself either. There we go. Oh, gotta wash the carburetor. Totally forgot about the carburetor sticking out over here. so I can ease it down some. I put the carburetor on because it's easy to put it on outside. Which is sitting right on it. Scoot it over a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we'll pull the carburetor. Hopefully it clears it out for us. Now I got to scoot the engine back. It's too far forward. How am I gonna do that? Oh, it's hanging up on the carburetor again. Okay. Should have had the cherry picker pointing towards the back of the seat instead of the side. We'll set it down in there and then worry about that. Because I still got to line up the prop shaft. So you have to swing it around there and line that up. Once I get it in there, I'm gonna have to scoot it back, swing it back. So see if I can do that. So right there, fall off in there. Probably not gonna work. I don't know if I can get it down. Swing it at the same time. That's what it is. Set it all the way down. I'm almost there. So let me get that all lined up and show you the outcome. All right, we are getting ready to snatch off this jet pump. I made me a puller. That is actually the bar off of my engine cradle holder. It goes across your fender wells, and it's got like a triangle on each end to hold your engine up while you take the transmission or frame out. And I got two bolts running through the top side of the jet pump, and I made this little plate right here to go through the bottom because you want to pull that thing off even. I got on the old YouTube and search. I seen guys using 2x4s, but I didn't have any bolts long enough, so this right here is going to work perfect. So I already just kind of put some pressure on it, and starting to come out. That thing is glued in there real good. Inside, I have to go on the other side. Let's go on the other side. There's three hoses that go to the top side of the pump, which I got those unhooked. That's actually those. Where are you at? I moved the flashlight away. Those three hoses, those three nipples that come out, that's on the back side of the pump. And you got a hose here, two hoses here, and then that big hose right there. So you want to make sure you get those off, and then you should be able to pull that thing out. I have seen on YouTube some of the guys jet pumps came out fairly easy. This one's got a bunch of that glue on there that they use to seal it up. It's like all oozed there. So we're gonna try and pull this thing out and see what's up with it. I know the wear ring is bad, so let's go ahead and put this little homemade bracket I made on here. Get some shorter screws. Let me grab some shorter screws. I do make a tool that I've seen online that pulls this thing off, but we don't have it, so we're going to use what we got. Inside and check, make sure we haven't ripped that out. Should come right on off of there. It's coming. Take some of the first. Holding it. It would just pop right on off of there. go, inside out. Definitely hanging it up. Yeah, she's hung in there. Definitely hanging it up where it won't come out. She'll just pop right out of there. I don't want to put too much force on it. Break something. Guess I'm going to put my little puller back on there. I think I'm running out of. Trying to come. Might be running out of thread. I think I'm bottoming out on threads. Try and put some washers or something in front of these nuts, because I think it's going in there and bottoming out. They make it look so easy on the internet. Got it. Ah, pulled the whole shaft out. I wasn't expecting that. That wasn't good. But we got it out. It's like this thing is frozen in there. Yeah, it is. It was frozen up in there. So we got the shaft out of it. It's actually, should have had somebody in there holding it, but. So we got it out. You can see the wear ring is toast. It's got cracks in it. That's just the seal that goes in front of it. So it wouldn't even turn. So locked up. So this wear ring is toast. Didn't break anything. Just pulled the shaft out. Get all the silicone and the rest of that out. Like a bird made a nest right there. So we got that out now. So now I got another pump. It has a decent wear ring. Where is it? But I don't know the condition of the actual. Got a lot of play right there. I don't know what's up with that, but I know the cone is missing off of it. I don't know if that's loose or somebody took it loose, but it's got a good wear ring. It's just that only thing this is just that little seal. Wear ring looks good. So anyway, we'll probably throw that one in there. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up and then we'll go to the next step. Yeah, that thing is toast. It's kind of cracked up. Won't even turn. Alright. So, I thought I had the camera on when I was hooking the jet pump back up, but I didn't. It was just behind me. I was just talking away. But anyway, we got the jet pump back in. We got it all sealed up. Got fresh clots, jet pump oil in. I went ahead and popped the tires off the trailer because I couldn't get over in there to really do any work. But I got the starter wire hooked up to the control box. So when I put the pipe on, I won't have to worry about the pipe being in the way of me putting that starter wire on. And starting to hook the water lines up and stuff like that. So I'll get all that connected and then we'll start working on the fuel lines in the gas tank. And hopefully this thing will run. So I was having problems getting the pipe hooked up to the muffler per se. So this hose was very hard. So what I did was stuck my tailpipe expander in there and screwed it out. And now I'm just taking the heat gun, put a little heat to it while it's kind of stressed out. And hopefully I can get it to slide up on the muffler. The hose is just so hard from sitting over time, not being connected. So well, I'm gonna see if that go on there, and I think it'll work. More abandoned jet skis. This is a Esp.436 Sea-doo. What year is it? It's got to be a 95. It is a 94. 94 Esp.436 Sea-doo. It's all complete. Looks like it needs a wear ring. I think the motor's locked up on it. But can be fixed. A good parts one. Not too bad. It's got the gas hand. So 94 SPI. And then over here we got another Sea-doo. This is the, I think this is a 89 or 90. 89, I'm correct. I don't know if you can see that. It's a 89 Sea-doo. I don't know if this is a SP or, I'm not too familiar with these older ones. This should be a yellow motor. Yeah, it's the yellow motor. Yep. I think this one runs, actually. More abandoned goodies. If I can get the seat to close. So, got a 94 SP and a 90 or 89 something. It might be an SP, OSP, not sure. Last registered in 2010. So got the trailer to match. So just more abandoned goodies. Got some trucks, tractors, trailer. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Just a quick video. Some more abandoned stuff. On with building more skis. Back at y'all again. Remember the abandoned ski I went and looked at? The abandoned non-running SPI? Well, yours truly ended up with it. And let me show you why. The reason why is because I could not get this thing to fire. I got the engine in there, it turns over. Now dude did tell me this box came out the SP, that it had firing issues, but I'm like, how would he know? Because the motor was seized up anyway. But anyway, it has an aftermarket ECU, an aftermarket coil. Did some wiring checking, couldn't get it to turn over. I know he told me it probably needs a solenoid. I changed the solenoids I had laying around. It's got power and everything. I just couldn't get it to turn over. I can jump it at the solenoid, but it'll fire for 1 second and stop. So I don't know if it's a problem in the stator, because we changed the stator, or problem in this setup here. So I didn't have another ECU or coil. So went back out to where I seen the SPI, was able to get a tremendous cheap deal. Only bad thing is I couldn't get the trailer with it. So I'm stuck with another one with no trailer. I mean, everybody wants to keep the trailers. But this is a 587 and it's complete. Thing about it is, it's set up with no spark plugs in it. One cylinder has some water in it. You can plainly see it in there. I don't know if I can get the light on it. Somewhere you can see that water down that cylinder. It's kind of hard to see it. See it moving in there? That one's full of water. This one's totally dry. But I got to looking back here at the jet pump. Besides the humongous B-nest it had, you can see that the wear ring is totally busted up. Now the engine won't turn over. It could be because of the wear ring is hanging it up. I don't know if somebody tried to put some PB blaster in the hole, but it is a 587 and it's complete. I mean, looks pretty clean on the inside. Has the same pipe setup as the GTS. Got your start and lanyard. So my thing is, I want to really pull the electrical box out of this one. Hopefully everything's good, everything's intact, ain't been cut on and rigged on. Pull the electrical box out of this one and stick it over in the GTS. Plus this one has the plug for the gas gauge. So this will all plug up in the GTS. It also has the oil bottle sensor, I think. Does it? No, this one don't have an oil bottle sensor. Yes, it does. I see the wires going into it. It looks like it's full of some kind of 2-cycle oil. Don't know if it's the Sea-doo kind. Oh man, it's frozen. That's regular old 2-cycle oil. Man, you gotta run Sea-doo in here. Some people say you don't, but you really do. See, it's kind of toasty. But hey, it's a cheap ski. Technically free ski. And it's got the little sound deadener thing, whatever you want to call it. Motor looks relatively clean though. I mean, there's not a lot of oil down in the hull, so no oil leaks. It does have the oil injector on it, and I can't tell. The oil injector, yes, is hooked up down there. So they were running it on, I can't tell. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see. Looks like they got the oil injector. If I can get the light to stay on here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oil injector is hooked up, so that's a plus. So nobody didn't bypass it. It's full of oil. So I'm just wondering if it's locked up down in the pump. That's why I quit. But right now, we're just going to concentrate on getting this ECU box out and get it over in the GTS and try to get this thing running, because we know we got compression and everything. So I'm going to work on that, getting that box out of there, get it over here in the GTS, and hopefully we can get it to spin over and we have some fire and we'll be able to fire this thing up. And maybe later on we'll try and free this engine up. Maybe we can get this SPI going. This is a 94. So got the start stop button. I mean, everything looks pretty good. Just fadey. But anyway, I'm gonna get to work. I'll show you guys the outcome. What I'm gonna go ahead and get this water out of this cylinder. So I got my shop vac hooked up. Not coming out, so I'm gonna have to get something, try and get that water out of there if that's water, so that way we can prevent it from rusting. So I'll see what I can do. So I got my Mighty Vac. You can see all the stuff I'm sucking out of there. It's like a whole bunch of, I don't know what that is, milky water. Get it to, look at that, whole cylinder's just full. It's like chocolate milk. There's a lot of it in there. It's not PV blaster or anything. See some rust and dirt. Man, they're just spitting out everywhere. I think that's going to be all I can get out of there. Looks pretty dry. So what I'm going to do is put some oil down in there and put the plugs back in it. And then we'll let it sit. Maybe that'll free it up. So I got the jumper pack hooked on the SPI. I'm just doing a little test to make sure that the solenoid and stuff is working. You can hear it clicking. The engine's locked up, but we know that the solenoid and start button, all that's working. So next step is to remove all that and put it in the GTS. And hopefully the firing stuff works, which I think it will. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got a laser light show. Got everything hooked up. And let's see what she fire. Laser light show time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we are good to go now. So now we move it on to let's get some fuel to this baby and get the oil bottle back in and get this sucker fired up once and for all. And later on we will try and see what's up with this one. But for now, it's GTS time. So we are almost ready to fire this thing up. Let me show you what's going on. So we got the carburetor on. We got our throttle linkages hooked up with the oiler. We got our new used salvage ECU control unit, all that packed in and wired up. We got the exhaust totally on. We got our lanyard safety switch. I had to drill a hole to put it here. Well, actually, to put the start button here, and then put the lanyard over here. Because this ski, it didn't come with the start button actually on the panel. It was up here on the handle. So I had to use the Esp.436 start button in the harness. So we got that all hooked up. The on and off drill switch has been cleaned, totally cleaned out, took apart. Up here we got all new fuel lines up under there. Went through and took all the fuel lines off, exception to the breather vent tube. It was pretty good. All but that one piece, but all the fuel line has been replaced. Fuel filter cleaned. We got our gas tank sending unit replaced. Gas tank cleaned. The only other thing I gotta do is I got to run wire from the oil tank and the sending unit, because by this harness coming out of an SPI is definitely shorter than the GTS. So I'm gonna have to run some extra wire from the fuel sending unit and the oil tank, because it won't reach. So I'm just going to tap into the harness and put some external wire to run all the way up here. This plugged in, and I did put the battery in it, and the oil light came on, and it does turn over. So next is getting some oil in the oil tank and put some gas in the gas tank, and she should be ready to fire up. Hopefully works out pretty good. Hopefully the pump works, and the fuel pump on the carburetor worked, which I went through the carburetor, and be ready to rock and roll. So fingers crossed. Let's get the GTS back in the water and play with it. Alright, we're going to try and do some late night cranking on the GTS, and we're putting in the XPS lubricant. This is the E-Tech 2T full synthetic 2-stroke oil. I'm going to put some in the bottle, empty. Make sure we ain't got no anonymous leaks. I see it going down to the filter, and I see it going through our little clear hose. Put some in there. I'm not going to fill it all the way up just yet, just in case it's got some kind of leak, and I won't have to worry about draining it out too much. So I just put enough, well, because I already see a leak right at that hose where the oil line is. As soon as I said it, that's what happened. So I got to put a hose clamp on that. Right where that filter is, it's starting to leak. So let me get a hose clamp on that. Alright you guys, it's nighttime. We're going to crank it up. Hopefully it fires right up. We don't have any water leaks or main issues. We got fuel, we got fire. We got 2-cycle oil. So I'm gonna crank it up first without the water on, and then if it cranks right up and run, then we'll shut it off and then we'll put water to it. So let's try it out. First crank. What was that about? It sounded like the starter is not engaging. It ain't the motor. Oh man, I started to the flying crap. Let's see if we got a disconnected. Sound like I started and hung up. Let's get something to tap it with. Let me grab something to tap it with. Sound like the starter hung up right when it crunked. So I'm gonna try and tap on it again. Battery low? Are we dropping voltage? Well, that was pretty easy. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to figure out why the starter is not turning over. I don't know if the starter went bad that quick or we dropped some voltage somehow, but it did fire off, but the starter quit, so let me figure that out. So I found my problem. It was actually the cable going to the starter, your positive cable. I think I'm gonna have to put a better lock nut on it. It just vibrated loose, and I just got a regular nut on there with no lock washer. So let's see what she does. No water leak at all. Let me cut the water off. So we'll let it cool down a minute. Everything looks good. Water circulating through all the hoses. So she is sounding real good. Real good. So we're gonna let it sit for a minute. And I forgot I got to grease the shaft bearings that runs from your PTO, back to your pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and squirt some grease in there. But yeah, she sounds real good. So kudos. The bandit, scrap, left dead, murdered GTS scooter does run. So we'll fire it up again here in a minute. Got a little nose cone rattle, but other than that, the oiler is working. And let's see, will she restart? We got a motorcycle that's out tonight. Well, anyway, folks, she runs. I hope he blows that thing up. He's been doing it all day. So anyway, she runs. She runs real good. As you can see, it's smoking, so the 2-cycle oil is circulating. I do have a small water leak. It's just on the T-coupler where your quick disconnect is. That's no big deal. So our next step will be to take this beast out in the water and see what she's going to do. So just stay tuned in. And oh, I forgot, I gotta put my little vent thing back here. Popped off. But just stay tuned in, and we'll be taking this baby out to the lake, and y'all be the first ones to see her in action. And hopefully by then I have the oil gauge hooked up and the gas gauge hooked up, which, like I said, that's no big deal. But yeah, y'all just stay tuned and watch out for GTS.